Welcome back to Advent of Code 2025, day 4. I'm a bit late starting. Had to catch a boat. The waters were calm for a change. Didn't have to throw up this time. So yeah, we're only about 3 hours late, so it's not going to harm our leaderboard score too much. Not that I really care about that. So, day 4. My kettle is on. Hopefully it's not too noisy. Alright. Is the music going to play or what? Hello? YouTube? There we go. Alright. Hello, Maro. Easy one today. Oh, are you, you've done this one? I saw that you started on problem 1 the other day. Wasn't able to do it on time today. Alright. Let's open 2D grid stuff. Alright, this already looks like something I'm comfortable with. Printing department. You ride the escalator down to the printing... Oh, we were going down the escalator? Not up? Okay. My thumbnail is wrong for the last video. It had the elf going up. Oh well. They're clearly getting ready for Christmas. They have lots of large rolls of paper everywhere, and there's even a massive printer in the corner to handle the really big print jobs. Decorating here will be easy. They can make their own decorations. What you really need is a way to get further into the North Pole base while the elevators are offline. Actually, maybe we can help with that, one of the elves replies when you ask for help. We're pretty sure there's a cafeteria on the other side of the back wall. If we could break through the wall, you'd be able to keep moving. It's too bad all of our forklifts are so busy moving these big rolls of paper around. If you can optimize the work the forklifts are doing, maybe they would have time to spare to break through the wall. The rolls of paper are arranged on a large grid. The elves even have a helpful diagram indicating where everything is located. Alright. The forklifts can only access a roll of paper if there are fewer than 4 rolls of paper in the 8 adjacent positions. If you can figure out which rolls of paper the forklifts can access. Is that part 1? Okay, nice. Nice and easy for part 1. It's all in the neighbor function. It always is. You could practically do this by hand. Like you'd have to control F along the top bottom rows, and then I guess the columns, and then control F the rest. I don't know. Anyway, alright, let's get the So, let's just get this grid stored as a list of strings. Okay, so we've got the grid. Let's just get n m equals length of grid, length of grid 0, so that's the height and width. I could make a pause class. I might not need it. Well, we're gonna need it eventually for several problems. Let's get started on that. So, good old pause. Class pause. Define. Wait. Nowadays I use the thing, don't I? What's it called? The decorator whose name is hang on, I need my coffee. Let's dig up (21). Find where I used pause and copy some of the methods like add and stuff. Like, come on. Here we go. Oh, not here. Come on, it should have been quite common, shouldn't it? Bloody hell, what was this problem? Snailfish. Here we go. Data class. It was the term I was looking for. Okay. So this is data class. We've got X, Y. We've got add, subtract. We'll just remove subtract for now. Equal. Yeah, okay. Alright, so and we want a neighbor method. Right, so define get neighbors for a given pause. We've written this so many times before. Can we just copy this? Oh, we'll just write it. Alright, so, it's 8 directional, isn't it? Yeah. So, or dx in -1, 0, 1. For dy in -1, 0, 1. Neighbor equals. Well, let's just say neighbor x, neighbor y equals p dot x plus dx, p dot y plus y. Let's just say if dx dy equals 0, 0. Skip that one. Alright, so we've got the neighbor values. If so it's got to be 0 is less than or equal to, and x is less than m, and 0 is less than n, y which is less than n, yield the new pos, which is nx and y. That's the get neighbors method. Alright, so the actual thing is for x in range for y in range n p equals, let's say, pos xy. So what do we want? We want to count how many. Does it have to be fewer than 4 ampersand symbols? Okay, so we want if sum of grid neighbor dot x, neighbor dot y, neighbor dot x equals at for neighbor in get neighbors p. Is that it? Type alias. What? It looks fine to me. Okay. 2277. Okay. Hello, Dr. Luxie Luch Stark. Luke Stark. Are you doing any advent of code? Alright, 2277. Nope, it's wrong. It's too high. Oh, there's X's. Wait, what? Oh, I've done it. I've used the symbols wrong. Hang on. We're looking for... Okay. We're looking for X's specifically. Oh, no. This is just an example. No, ignore that. No. We're looking at only cells which are already ampersand. I forgot that factor. Hang on. X's are not in the input. Okay. So I was just doing arbitrary cells. Okay. I'll just make that change. I do advent of code in Rust. Nice, that's quite popular choice. Have you already done today's problem? Right, so I need to change. So if grid, so basically this grid p.y p.x is not equal to that, then skip that one. Okay, should be a smaller number now. 1445. Solved this some minutes ago. Nice. Have you solved all the days to date? Okay, correct. So that was a pretty easy part one. Of course I screwed it up first try. Part 2. Now the elves just need help accessing as much of the paper as they can. Once a roll of paper can be accessed by a forklift, it can be removed. So we find the ones that can be removed. We've already worked out how to compute that before. What can be accessed. We mark them in a table or something. Then we do a simultaneous like removal of all of the removes, right? And then what? We keep doing it until it's a stable state. So until the set is empty. Okay, it's a simulation. There's no shortcut to doing these things. You just have to simulate the whole thing. It's like game of life stuff. Alright. And I could have solved this problem on the boat. They did actually have Wi-Fi. Wait, the boat trip was 30 minutes long. How long am I? I'm 20 minutes in. We'll probably finish in 30 minutes. It would have been my first ever boat stream. Solving a problem. Alas, that ship has sailed. Let's make a method then. Get to be removed. So, we basically just take this logic. In fact, we don't need to have part 1 separately. We can just say So we do that. Okay. Result equals, let's say it's a list. So if it passes the test, we pop it on there. And then return the full list. And we could yield. There's no reason to do that. Alright. So let me just comment this out. So part 1 should just be print length of get to be removed. Alright, so let's test that. 1445 still? Okay. Get rid of this. Alright. Length to be removed. Okay, so part 2. So let's say while true, move set list to be specific equals get to be removed. Oh, the grid is immutable. Alright, we can fix that. We'll just say and so it's gonna be a list of characters instead of a string. Check that didn't break anything. Okay. Alright, so oh, well true. Stop that. Remove list equals get removed. If not remove list, then we break. It's not. You shouldn't do this while true loops in programming. You should have an explicit condition, but we're cheating here. Well, not cheating, we're just like being unsafe. Okay, so we just have to go for p and remove list. Grid p.y p.x. I should have had a grid access getters and setters. That would have made things easier. p.y p.x is set to be a dot. Hello, Narf 37. Can you while remove list equals? You can, but then you have to declare remove list to be some default to begin with, which you should actually do when you're writing proper code. But I'm just skipping that step. But yeah, you pretty much as you've written, except it would be like remove list. You'd have to. It's a bit weird though, because you'd have to say remove list equals, and you can't just you can't just do this because that would evaluate to false to begin with. You'd have to put something arbitrary in there, which is a bit weird. Just like 0 in there, which if you wanted to do it better, you could. While remove list equals get to. Oh, wait. So you mean like a single equals there, right? Not double equals. So you're saying, oh, I don't like to do logic conditions where I'm having side effects that happen in the logic condition, but I'm aware that especially in like C++, people do that, but I don't like that. That just confuses me. Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable for anything, any side effects to be happening inside logic conditions. And I feel like it's more prone to errors. I think even in like writing software, I wouldn't really advise anyone to do that. I know a lot of classic C++ examples do that. They make it out like it's smart and efficient. I don't think it is, really. But it absolutely would work, yeah. You can. I mean, in some functional languages like Haskell, I guess you do actually do stuff like that, and it's encouraged. As long as you know what you're doing. Let's dot. That should be it, I suppose. And then what did they want us to return? How many rolls of paper in total can be removed by the elves and their forklifts? Okay. So we need to just say... that. Print. Hopefully this one will work, because it's really just working off the part 1 logic, but... Took a few seconds, but yeah. I mean, it can go on a fair number of times. Yeah. 8317. Correct. Well, it's been hours since the problem released, so I probably should have checked the number just before I started. Not that it matters. Okay, so that was actually regarded as quite an easy problem, because the ratio of gold stars to silver stars is high. And most of those people are still just finishing off their part 2, I imagine, so... That was probably the easiest problem we had. Interesting, it looks like the ratio for part 1 is... for day 1 is actually quite low. But then a lot of people give up early, so they'll give up in day 1 or day 2, so that's not... doesn't really mean much on its own. Private leaderboards. How do I... Where's my leaderboard? Yeah, here. Oh, I'll post the code in case anyone wants to join. Yeah, it's funny because the reason I didn't do it on time today, as opposed to the previous days, is because I had to catch a boat today, which was half an hour long, the trip, and they did have Wi-Fi on the boat. So, in theory, and we just finished within 30 minutes, I could have done it. I could have streamed myself solving the problem on a boat. I don't know if that would have made me seasick, though, but it was a really calm sea today, so maybe not. Oh, yeah, I'm in that leaderboard. Yeah, Bad Cop is quite... he's done a lot of streaming and always solving them with Bash. So, yeah, Smab UK is a part of Captain Coder's community, and I don't think Captain Coder has actually done anything this Yeah, no, I'm just checking his Discord. But let's check Captain Coda's leaderboard. Alright. Okay, I see Umaro has done all 4 problems. Congratulations, Umaro, as well. Who might still be in chat. Okay then, that's it for today. Tomorrow I'll probably be able to actually do the problem on time. Okay. Yeah, nothing more to say. That's pretty... It's not even anything really interesting I can add to that in terms of extensions or algorithm theory. I'm hoping I can maybe do all 12 on time this year. Yeah, I mean, that will definitely be easier to do when it's only 12. That's a big difference, yeah. Like, a lot of people burn out of the 12 days in previous years. Or just find themselves leaving some problems for later, and then they have so much debt to pay that they can't keep up with it. Have you done 2019? 2019 was actually the first one I did, and I also did it kind of live while it was like in the December. That was when I first discovered Advent of Code. And after that, I did most of them live, except for maybe 1 or 2 years. And, oh, no, I didn't do that live. No, 2019. I think I did 2020 live. 2019, but I did do 2019, but I went back and did that from the archives. So I probably did that, like, a year ago or 2 years ago. Yeah, I remember that one. That was notorious. For like, it was every odd numbered problem or something was in code, wasn't it? Or even numbered. It has a very big love-hate relationship amongst the community. Like I can totally understand the people who hate it, because if you don't like it, then you're just having to do it every other day. Oh, and the other issue is if you don't solve the earlier encode problems, then you're kind of screwing yourself for the later ones, which are kind of assuming you wrote a good encode solution that you can build on. So it was something you had to do in sequence. I did enjoy it, but I can sort of see why it would be too much to do that again in later years. Like, once was enough, but it was definitely a very original take on a coding competition. What was the final? Oh, well, I've got it right here, don't I? The final problem, was that the like the point and click adventure game? Yeah, the point and... Oh, yeah, it was the text adventure game. That was quite clever, yeah. And you couldn't automate it. You had to play the game, which was cool. All right. Yeah, so yeah, I've done everything today. All caught up. Oh, hopefully 550 stars by the end of this month. Okay, let's just have a look at who's online. Bad Cop, I think, was online at the start of my stream, so... but I've raided him before, so... I think, I already raided Alka 2 days ago, but they're the only one online, so... Time Splitters 2.
Live through each.
I've really got to play the Time Splitters games. I think you can play them on PC now, can't you? There's like a...
Each character, right?
There's a mod that lets you play it on the old PS2 game on PC, but there's also like a remaster coming up. Alright, I guess we'll raid Alka.
Get rid of it, okay.
Alright, thank you for watching. See you tomorrow around the same time.